Hey, can you hear me now? I always have this issue when starting out, so today I said I'm going to get it out of the way and make sure that it's not a problem. But I closed down as many mics as I possibly could, so hopefully it will not keep happening. As soon as you guys can hear me, let me know, okay? All right, good to go. How are you guys doing today? I've seen a couple streams going, but I'm not even going to entertain it because that always happens. I try to wait for the perfect time to get on to make sure there's no big channel streaming or, you know, other popular channels, but it just never seems to be the right time. So I'm just going to even stop worrying about, you know, other streams that are going on when I decide to go on, because I always have a set time every time. I like to go live every weekend. It just seems like um, I run into a bunch of channels, so I'm not even gonna worry about it anymore. How's your day going? I hope it's going lovely like mine's is. So New York, I'm gonna add you on as a moderator for me. And if we start buffering, you guys, let me know, because I just got a yellow light. So hopefully I won't have any problems with that. What's up, Cat Eyes? How are you, love? Hey, Young Italy. Welcome to F.E.C. Let me just pop out my chat real quick so I can make sure I'm keeping up with that with you guys while I'm talking. I'm sorry I don't have any music going for you guys. I don't want to get another copyright. I don't have any strikes at this point, but at the same time, I don't want to get any. And I always like to play some nice music for us before we get started, but I'm not going to do that today because I don't monetize my videos, so I'm not making any money off of them, and I don't have enough followers yet to have donation chat. So as soon as I reach that, I'd be able to be funded by you guys to do that. When that happens, I would love for you guys to support, because I want to get like headphones and microphones and things like that that are outside my budget right now. I'm still working on getting a second setup and everything. So once that happens, that would be a great help if you guys would support that. I'm going to go over some of the rules that we have here. I generally do this at the beginning of each uh, live stream, just to kind of get that out of the way, because I don't want to spend time talking about it the entire time that we're talking. Today we're going to be talking about a lot of things, so I just want people to be aware of the rules to stay on track. So one of the first rules we have is no agendas. Um, Agendas are personal issues, like, if you're here because you want to press people about your religious preference or your political preference or, your business and things like that, that is not allowed here. That will get you in hot water, basically, and you could be banned if you continue to keep it up. F.E.C is a community. It's about everybody, but we want to keep the agendas to a minimum, unless they come up as a topic. If we're going to be discussing something that is related to the no genders allowed, then that's fine for that period. But generally, that's off rules. No trolling. Trolling is when you come into the chat room just to make a problem. You're not actually there to be support or be a part of F.E.C. You're just there to nag, to criticize, to act a fool, and we don't have time for that, okay? No trolls allowed. You will be banned immediately by the mod squad, and I'm not even going to review it, because if you did something to piss them off, obviously you don't deserve to be here. This is a family-friendly channel, so we try to keep it as clean as possible in the chat room. And no disruptive behavior. Disruptive behavior is like coming into the chat room just to stalk somebody. Every time they chat or talk, you're on their butt for no reason. We don't got time for that either. No talking about other flat earthers. That's not allowed here, in the sense of in a negative light. We can talk about F.E.C all day long, but we're not going to entertain the drama. We're not going to entertain people criticizing other flat earth channels, especially the smaller ones. We're not going to do that. We may talk from time to time about them. They may be a topic of discussion, but generally we're going to avoid that, because this is all about being positive and supporting each other and getting the message out. So those are some of the basic rules. Anything else that comes up that might annoy the hell out of me or the mods is generally going to be off rules. Now, you do have a chance to get yourself unblocked by emailing me, and I'll review what got you blocked in the first place. But generally, I'm going to side with my mods just because they're super awesome all the time, and they know what pretty much I'm going for live stream community. They know what's tolerated and what's not, so I trust them. Today we're going to be talking a lot about several things that are kind of like off limits here, but they are topics for discussion, because I feel like if you don't identify problems, you can't find solutions. You need to do that in order to develop things that work for everybody. So we're going to have several topics today, and I'm going to try to stay on track as much as possible. I don't have a time limit for my stream. It generally ends when we start winding down, so no biggie. I just now figured out what that sound was. So like, when somebody subscribes to my channel, you're going to hear those little chimes. It's just for me to keep track and say thank you to those who are joining me for the first time. Really appreciate that. I can see them, but they're kind of small. So Lavelle, welcome to F.E.C. To tell you a little bit about F.E.C. F.E.C is Flat Earth Community by me, your girl, Sassy Undeniably. This is the place where we come together as flat earthers, as a community, to talk about things going on with flat earth. It's about planning for the future, the aftermath of what's happening after this lie comes down. So we're going to be talking about different variety of things like doomsday prepping. We're going to be talking about the matrix itself. We're going to be talking about our children's future and what we can do to raise them outside the system. We're going to be talking about how it affects relationships and people. And we're going to be talking about what we can do as activists to get that message out. So F.E.C is a place where you can come. This is our little hangout. This is where we get together at the end of the week and catch up on everything that we've done during the week. One of my favorite parts of this show is telling our story and sharing with others who are out there trying to support one another. Hey, your sweet place. Thanks for stopping by. Joey, hey, buddy. I think this is your first time on my channel. Let me stop real quick and get you guys on as moderators. Hey, you've been exposed. What's up, buddy? Thanks for stopping through, guys. I really appreciate it. I can't even keep up with those chimes right now, so I'm just gonna kind of ignore them for now, and I will be sending thank you messages to my new subscribers because I can review this later on. So if you guys will just hang tough real quick with me while I get my other moderators set up real quick, I would really appreciate that. Hey, Brandon. Brandon, what's up, buddy? So cool to see you guys here. I can't even keep up with those chimes. I'm gonna have to extend that because it doesn't last long enough for me to see the person's name. Okay, if I miss you guys, let me know. The chat's still, even though it's on slow mode, it's still moving pretty fast for me to be able to catch you guys. So just give me a sec. I'll get this on track. What's up, Low Freak? How are you? I'm doing fab-tabulous. Ooh, how do I go back? It's not even letting me. If you guys will keep posting, that'll help so that I can tag you in for moderators. There we go. Okay, there's Joey. Okay, Low Freak. Add. Okay. I'm trying a lot of new things out here today on my stream, so if you guys bear with me, that'd be great. I'm just trying to get some of my regular friends moderated real quick, and then we'll get on today with the show. Let's see. Chat's moving kind of slow. So I think I'm going to worry about that later. If I miss you guys, I'm sure I'll get you on the next go round. I'm just going to keep it moving real quick. Let's see. Add, got you. And guys, I'm only giving wrenches to those that I know at first and trust and who've been vetted by other channels. So the best way, if you'd like to be a mod on my channel, is to make sure that you're here whenever I go live, and I don't have generally a set time as to when I go live. I just don't like to, you know, concrete set myself up, you know, and not be available. Okay, so I was talking about some of the agendas that we're going to be going over today, and halfway through I'll probably open up a panel for you guys to come up and talk about some of the things that I'm going to be discussing. I find like in the beginning of your stream is the best time to get your point of view and your points across, and then open up your panel later on. That way everybody can put input, because as you guys know, I can be a little bit long-winded when I'm talking about stuff. So let's see here. Okay, so this is the part of the show. It's my favorite part of the show. It's two parts to it. So this week I told two people about Flat Earth, And one of those people that I told today, I went today to support Vista College and let them do my hair. And so the lady that was doing my hair is actually one of the people that I actually told this week. The other person was in passing. You know, I just said research flat earth. I've been so busy, I'm lacking, you know, behind in that. But I always make sure to keep up with my Facebook posts, and I slam them with flat earth like every single day. I get a lot of negative feedback all the time from them. Sometimes I can be mentally drained, but I don't care, because you know what? Who I'm doing it for, I'm doing it for the generation that's to come. So the parents and all of that, it doesn't really matter. Most of the negative feedback that I get are usually from people who go to church all the time, like, you know, Hebrews and Christians and Muslims and people like that. And these, to me, are people that should know about flat earth in the first place. I mean, it is in their doctrine to begin with. And they should be the most open out of the society, because they're supposedly so godly and in touch with, you know, the creator. But I find that sometimes that's just the opposite. But so like I slam Facebook, I slam my social media accounts with flat earth all the time, every single day, just to make sure I'm exposing as many people as I possibly can. So how many people did you guys tell about flat earth this week? I want to know. Let me know by putting a number in the chat room so I can see who all has been out there spreading that message about the flat earth. And what's some of the feedback that you guys have gotten? You know, I love, you know, the feedback that I get, as long as it's not, you know, threatening to my life. So it doesn't matter to me. I know everybody's not as confident in, you know, spreading this message, but we need to be doing that. We need to be trying to get it going on our own personal level, and as much as we possibly can, because we don't want this thing to, you know, go on forever. We actually do want to accelerate, and the best way to accelerate is to keep adding flames to the fire by spreading the message. So, you know, New York, that is awesome. Cat's Eye, that's more than I did in like a week. That's pretty awesome. You know, keep it up, you guys, because we want to keep spreading this message. We want to keep getting it out and letting people know about it. How did you do that, Authentic Intent? I mean, really, I would love to know. I mean, I have over 10,000 friends on my social media account, and I don't get that kind of exposure. That's just crazy. Llewellyn, you're setting a record. And you know what, you guys, in the future, I'm going to be those who tell the most people about flat earth. I'm going to be sending you little things in the mail, because I'm going to start making pottery again. So I'll probably send you one of my pieces or a t-shirt, an F.E.C t-shirt. So the more people you tell, it is a competition, by the way. Some people may view that as bad, but I don't really care. It's about spreading the message. So look for that in the near future. The more people you tell, we're going to keep score and track of that. And the person that is the most at the end of the week, I'm going to be sending them something from F.E.C. The next part that I like to do is talk about our stories, because it's important to talk about what got us to being flat earthers. So it's about how we became flat earth. So in other words, how did you hear or find out about flat earth, and what made you decide to become a flat earther? Go ahead and let me know in the comment section, and I'm going to read those back to you guys so we can have a dialogue about that, because I really do think it's very special to share with your friends about how you became a flat earther. I've shared my story several times about how I became a flat earther, and it was a long process for me, but I didn't amp it up until about 4 or 5 months ago. And I would never go back, because to go back would mean I would be accepting the lie all over again. And there's just not enough evidence presented to me by any globe head that the earth is flat. I mean, I can use my observation. I can use my eyes. Every day I drive to work, and it's about 30 minutes for me to get to work. And while I'm at work, I take clients various places. So I get to see the flat plane at several different levels every time I go to work. So there's just not enough evidence for me to, it just was insurmountable, how much evidence there was to support the flat earth model versus the globe model. So I can never return to being a global. The only way that that would happen would be if I went up to space myself and saw that the earth was flat. But y'all know that ain't never gonna happen. They don't want anybody going up in space unless you're a part of their little club. And who wants to be a part of their little fake little club that sucks the life out of all people on this earth? No thank you for that. But I did hear about that SpaceX mission that's supposed to send 2 people up to go around the moon in 2017. I don't know if you guys have heard of that before. Um, Individual one says that she literally converted about 10 globalers that I know of to flat earth. That is really awesome. I've only been able to convert one person so far in real life, and one person online to change their viewpoints about flat earth. So it's something that I work on all the time. Um, and Facebook just seems to be the easiest thing. I mean, I really don't like Facebook, but I like engaging with people, so it's a good, platform to introduce people to flat earth. Okay, Joy, I'll see you when you get back, love. Thanks for stopping through. um Llewellyn von Helen says that I'm sorry, wrong person. um New York says, I became a flat earther because my alternative medicine degree. Hmm. Um, that's very, very interesting. I wonder how much of an influence of that had on you to become a flat earther. Um, I see several messages from that authentic intent. I'm not sure which one you want me to look at, but yeah, I saw the 2000 and something earlier. Maybe that's what you're talking about, referring to. I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. That makes sense, New York. um, yeah, so anytime, and I'm gonna bring this up once I open the panel up. I just want to get through the news portion of it, so that if you want to tell me your story when you get on panel, that's completely fine as well. Oh, they want to put a link. Okay, let me make you a moderator real quick. There you go, hon. Okay. Okay, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, I want to talk today about a couple of channels that are really I really like and respect, and they get my attention whenever I'm on. Hori Sheet Show is like a news channel that covers everything on flat earth. It's objective, it's honest, and he does a really good job at talking about flat earth in a positive light. And so if you haven't subscribed to the Hori Sheet Show, I want you guys to do that, because he covers all of flat earth channels, everything that's going on with them, and you can really get introduced to a lot of new flat earthers who have different perspectives and provide different content, so you're not looking at the same things, and you can be supportive of those channels as well. When I was on his channel, I got an alert earlier this week that made me go on there, and so I watched one of his videos on Fiverr, and it's actually a series that he's doing about Fiverr and how to make money using Fiverr. And so I'm definitely going to tune in for that. He does offer services as well on there. Plus, he can tutor you on how to get your business going on Fiverr. If you go to Fiverr, it's a wide variety of things. So you can be a provider, or you can purchase things off of Fiverr. And the things that they have on there are amazing. You wouldn't even believe. You can get people to like sing happy birthday in their tub on there and send it to a friend. And it's like $5 a pop. Packages range on there, and I think it's just awesome. I was thinking about, pimping myself out on there, and being a hair model, or maybe you need somebody to fake your date. Maybe you need somebody to go with you and be your girlfriend. Maybe you're trying to one up your buddies or something. You want a hot chick. I was thinking about getting on there and doing that, but that would be kind of borderline, that may seem a little crazy. You might get some weirdos if you do that, but the point is that you can sell services on there, and the services are human resources. So if you're looking and you have content, or somebody that does, or you can do a wide variety of talents, that'd be a great place for you to connect with other people and share your talents and get paid to do it. Some people that have done it have actually gotten freed themselves from the matrix that way. So I think it's really awesome that he's doing that and giving tutorials about that. So check him out. The other channel I wanted to shout out was Brother Sanchez channel. He has been hitting it hard this week with the sacred cosmology, and every time you go on his channel, you're going to get something refreshing, you're going to learn something new, and you're going to definitely be entertained. I love going on his panel, and I love hanging out there because it's a wide variety of people as well as information, and he really knows his stuff. It's his personal thoughts, and a lot of it is about ancient cosmology, which relates to what we're doing today. So it kind of gives us back some of our history and connects us to the ancients and the past, and marries the two. So if you haven't subscribed to his channel, you guys want to do that. It's a very good channel. Dred's channel is called You've Been Exposed, and I really love going on his channel. I think I've missed his broadcasts this week because they were like streaming at the same time. So like I won't just leave one and jump on the other if one is streaming already. I tend to just stick where I'm at. But he does have really good channels and discussions, and the debates on there are juicy. It's just so good. Like they're always globalists that want to come on there and act like they know everything, and they state their case, but they can't prove anything. So check that out. He also has his daughter's channel, Flat Earth Teen. So shout out to her. I can't wait to interview her on my channel. It talks to teens. She gives the teen perspective, and I really love that. I think it's so cool that we start focusing on not raising our kids in the system. And so shout out to her. Her name's Raven, and I think that's so awesome. So you guys can reach her on her channel. It's called Flat Earth Teens. So we're gonna get into the meat of the discussions that I have for you guys today. Like, it just started raining here, so if the power and everything goes out, you guys know it's raining here, and it's raining pretty hard. Um, let's see. I'm going to talk about a dirty little word. This word just keeps popping up. I'm going to turn the lights on real quick. Okay, so today we're going to talk about dirty little words. And the dirty little word of the day today is shill. Look at my face. Look at my face. Do I look happy to be talking about a shill? What's a shill? What's a shill? Let's see what the definition is of a shill. A shill. Shill is a noun. And it says, word for word, an accomplice of a hawker, gambler, or swindler who acts as an enthusiastic customer to entice or encourage others. A shill is also a person who acts or works as a shill. So we got a double shill. And let me tell you why this is a dirty little word. In our community, there seems to be this dirty little word flying around like nobody's business. I've heard it on several channels, out of several people's mouths, and it just seems to be the catchphrase of the year for globers and flat earthers. And you know what? I'm tired of hearing this word. You know why? Because it does nothing for the movement. You know, it just turns everybody into a shill. You can't, it's like people aren't authentic unless they're called a shill. Why is this word so popular? I mean, the negative connotations that it comes with is enough to make me want to pull my hair out, honestly. Like, I am sick of hearing this word. Let me tell you why. This word has been used so frequently to discredit good, authentic, genuine people that it should not be used by anybody for any reason in flat earth, because it's just ridiculous. Like, it's the new hate word. It's the new terrorist word. Like, everybody doesn't like the word terrorist, right? It's synonymous with that word at this point. Terrorist, shill, I can't tell them apart because people keep using it as if it's some plague. Like, oh, you got the shill. Oh, look who's over there. They got the shill. Nobody cares. Stop calling people shills. Not everybody is a shill. Not anybody who I know is a shill or cares about being a shill. Like, stop using that word to describe people you don't like. How about having a discussion with them? How about being nice to them? How about trying to be supportive? See why? I find that when people use this word, it's because they don't like the person and they're trying to discredit the person. I'm not going to say that there's not people who aren't shills. There may be some. But are we going to waste our time really digging and becoming keyboard warriors to figure out if somebody's a shill? If they're not even doing anything that's harmful, if they're not affecting us in any kind of a way, what's the point? Like, no, let's just leave that alone. That's a dirty little word. It's added to the dirty little word list, and you'll find this list in the description box at a later date. We're just not going to tolerate that. The problem with it is when you start calling everybody a shill, it loses its potency. So people that it's actually meant for, it doesn't really mean anything anymore because you've used it so much. And really no real flat earther really cares at this point about all the people calling globalers and flat earthers shill. Like, get over it and move on. So that's the dirty little word that we don't have room for or time for in flat earth. Like, we're just not gonna tolerate that. People calling people shills, I mean, say what they are. Shill is just like too universal at this point, and I don't want to hear about it anymore. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of on people's channels. I'm sick of talking about it. Like, I'm not going to even entertain it. If somebody's going to say it, they're going to hear my mouth about it. Like, don't even do it. Don't do it when I'm on a panel. It's like go word for me. So now we're going to talk about the Matrix. I know you guys have heard me say this before, the Matrix. And the Matrix is something, if you don't know what it is akin to what the movie The Matrix is hints at. So the Matrix is all around. It is undetectable unless you're woken up from it. So like, I spent the better part of 20 plus years of my life unaware that the Matrix existed. So around 2013, 14, 15, I started getting little droplets, little messages here and there from the creator about it. And so I pursued those. And one of the movies that really sparked my attention was when I watched the movie Zeitgeist Addendum and Zeitgeist the movie. So I was getting little bits and pieces here and there that woke me up from the Matrix. It didn't happen overnight. It took 2 years. It wasn't until 2015 that I really woke up from it, around March, I would say. And for all of us, we're born into this system. We're born into the Matrix. And so it's hard to detect the Matrix. But if you watch that series, there's 3 parts of it. The Matrix, Matrix Reloaded, and it's a trilogy. You basically, in the first one, get the gist of what the Matrix is. It's a trap. It's entrapment. It's slavery for your mind. And we're slaves. If anybody here thinks that we're not, you're not woke yet. And flat earth is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many things that you need to awaken to be able to function outside of the Matrix, to detect all of its elements and facetedness in the Matrix. I'm happy to not be a part of the Matrix. I can spot it. If you've ever seen that movie, They Live, it's akin to that. Like, there's always subliminal messages and things like that that are coming and hitting you, and that you don't even know about. There's secret societies. There are just lots of crazy things going on in the world behind the scenes that you're not aware of, especially if you think America is great. It's not, and it hasn't been for a while. So I would wish that people stop saying make America great again. It has never been great. It will never be great, but we can make it better. We can change it. We can move away from the system and into our own. And that's what I love talking about. I love talking about the things that are going to further humankind to becoming civil. And as you know, I've introduced some of you to Ubuntu Contrabutionsism, and I think that is a perfect way to replace the current system that we're in, because it has nothing to do with monetary gain. It has nothing to do with bartering or trading anything. The only thing that you're trading is your natural God-given talents or your skills, and living free. Nothing costs anything in Ubuntu Contrabutionsism. All you're doing is dedicating your time, maybe here at a hospital, or, you know, say you like to build houses, or you know how to work programs, or you like working in the library. You're just donating some of your time, maybe 3 or 6 hours out of the week, and you live. You eat free, you live free, you clothe yourself, you get things that entertain you. I mean, it's just a better way to live. So I'm excited about talking about those things, living outside of the matrix. But while we're in the matrix, we're going to have topics about different things that are happening and going on in the matrix, because if you know anything, we can't escape it. We all know that the earth is flat, and that's all fine and great. But what happens next after you know that? We're still living in the matrix and having to deal with the problems of the matrix, and disconnecting ourselves from it. So we're going to spend some time talking about, we're going to spend a lot of time actually talking about ways that we can come up with to break away from the matrix. You know, I was looking today, and I mentioned this a couple of days ago on another show about Trump and his proposals. And he's crazy. I don't know any other way to say it. Like, if you voted for him, you got exactly what you wanted. Like, he's everything that you hope for and everything that you wish for. For me and others like me, we're like, this is a shit show, basically. Like, he went to the G20 summit, okay? And he got the results he wanted by making America First policy, which I don't even know why he says America First, because it's anything but America First. But anyways, he went there, acted a fool. He was isolated. We weren't seen as the leaders of the free world or the leaders on earth, period. He's like dimmed that spotlight for us. And at the end of the summit, how they normally do a press conference where all the leaders will get up, take questions, and talk to the press, he opted out for that. Like, how many red flags and signs do you need to know that this is a problem? Like, they may have entertained the ideal of him getting in office. I don't know how he got elected, over Hillary, who was well qualified for the job, in spite of her scandals that he created, half of them. Any choice would have been better than him. Both of them to me are a part of the system, a part of the matrix. And, the lesser evil is better than the one we have, because this guy is just off the chain. Just, they don't have any control really of him. He just like does whatever. Like, it's really an embarrassment. But he's pulled out of so many things in the global world that has everybody like scratching their head, like, why the heck is he doing all this? He's doing the exact opposite of what he set out to do, which was make America the go-to country in the world. Instead of that, he's diminishing the legacy of whatever they started. Not that I believe in this system whatsoever, because I think we should have ditched it and trashed it a long time ago. But he's just taken us back to a place that we were at a height at a certain point, and now we're just going even more lower and lower with this man in office. While he's been in office, if you notice, none of the things that he's done has been to help the middle and lower class or the poor. Everything that he's done is the complete opposite of what he said that he would do. He said that he didn't want Washington the status quo, but he went and hired whoever they recommended, their buddies, and they're all millionaires. How can you profess to say that you're going to take care of the little guy and your voters who are middle and low income and poor families, and then cut everything that they possibly need? I think he like cut SNAP and Medicaid by $193 million. I mean, where in that says I'm about the people? I'm a president for the people. I'm going to take care of the lower class. I'm going to do great things for them. Please, every single legislation that he's passed or brought up has been to hurt the lower classes of people. When I say lower class, I'm talking about the 90 percenters, which are all of us. And the 1% or out of the 10% is his class. And so, like, everything he's done has hurt the lower classes. The higher classes are sitting back laughing. They're laughing at him. They're laughing at us. They're laughing at everybody. And then the world is laughing at all of us. I mean, it's ridiculous, the things that he's done. Since day one, he signed legislation. I think his first piece of legislation, he took funding away from homeowners. I mean, the guy has no intentions on making America great again whatsoever. All his intentions are to take us back to a third world country. I mean, who needs that? No one needs that. We need to be addressing the issues that are going on. But anyways, I say that to say this, because he gave NASA $0.5 billion more than they had before. $19.5 billion. And I just seen an article that says that he is going to give them 19.1 in 2018. Now, how do you suppose he paid for that NASA increase? How do you suppose he paid for the physical cycle for NASA for the next year? $193 million from programs that help the citizens of your country. Sounds like you could probably divide that up a couple of times, and that's where he got the money from. I mean, hello, that's just anti everything, okay? It's anti-American, anti for the people as you can possibly get. So he's not doing anything but tightening the wrenches on the lower classes and the middle class people to continue doing what they're doing, which is keeping us distracted, keeping us right where we are, stagnant, not able to provide for our families, not able to support our families and grow. Like, this is just nuts what he's doing. And he increased these NASA liars budget. For what reason? More CGI? Because they're not producing anything right now. I haven't seen them produce any new crap that was worth looking at. Like, what are they doing with $50 million a day? It's probably like $51 million a day for that $0.5 billion increase that they got. Like, what are y'all producing or making that requires you to have that much money a day? Like, we really need to be looking into what they are spending this budget on. I want to see some papers on it. I want to know what do you do with $50 million a day for NASA, which is just one program that you have to take money away from the poor and people on Medicaid. Medicaid already don't pay for nothing. It don't pay for anything, okay? Who wants to have Medicaid? Like, you work your entire life in this system, in the matrix, and you get money taken out of your check to pay for things that are supposed to better everyone's life and keep us safe and secure. And one of those things is health insurance. So when you don't have the money income coming in anymore and you're on a set income from Social Security or pensions or whatever, Medicaid is supposed to kick in. They have Part A, Part B, D, blah, 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 whatever, but it doesn't pay for anything already. And then you go and cut that again. I mean, are you serious? Like, what is it going to take for people to wake up and recognize this system has to die? It's not for us, okay? It has no intentions of doing right by its citizens. First of all, it's private. Second of all, it doesn't take care of you. It's controlled by the powers that be. It's controlled by pharmaceutical. It's controlled by people that want to literally suck the life out of you. They have a plan to only have a certain amount of people on earth, and if you're not in their club, guess what? You're dispensable. You're slated for death. They don't care if you live or die because they've already decided who is most important in life, and everybody else is expendable. So he's cut this program and decided that, yeah, Medicaid, who needs that? And you know who all is on Medicaid and Medicare? It's sick people. It's our elderly. It's people who are on a fixed income that have to decide between their pills or their food. And they're already doing that. Why should they have to even decide on their pills or their food? And now you're telling me they just took $193 million more out of that program over a period of time? What part of that is American? What part of that says you want to help people? What is it going to take for people to wake up and see that something is wrong with that picture? You increase a budget for NASA, who doesn't help anybody on a day-to-day basis. It's just one program that sells a lie. So I'm thinking the reason they increased this program is because of, hello, the new movement, us, because they're trying to combat what we're doing. I'm thinking that this budget increase is to spend more time sending us trolls like Brenda, spend more time sending people to distract us from getting the truth out, spend more money on making sure that we have trouble when we're live streaming, to make sure that we are being watched. If you don't think you're being watched as a flat earther, you are. They're definitely on to us. We're working off of their medium. So don't be a fool. They know that we're on to them. And they are doing everything they possibly can to make sure to keep this word on. But we got a plan for that. We're still going to kick ass. We're still going to get out and get the message across because there is too much at stake to quit, to give up. There's no way we can turn back. There's no way I'm turning back. I will lay down my life for the truth so that other generations can live free and not with the lie. All they have to do, if they want to really shut us up, is prove that their model, prove the heliocentric model not using CGI. You can prove the heliocentric model by sending average Americans into space. Hell, just turn the cameras around on the ISS feed that y'all show us. I mean, who wants to see that baloney anyway? Let's see what's on the other side of the camera and see if they're actually out in space. Hello, we should be able to see the whole entire Earth as far out as they are. They say they are, but they say they're only so far up in the atmosphere. You're not out in space. Hello. The ISS is not out in space. It's just hanging out, probably in a pool somewhere. A pool. Did you see the videos of the bubbles? Boop, 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 boop. Like we know we're on to you and they're on to us. But at the same time, what it really boils down to is the lie. Aren't they tired of living the lie? Aren't they tired of perpetuating the lie? These people, these parasites that partake in this stuff. Aren't you tired? Don't you want to just run and just tell anybody the earth is flat? They're freaking lying to you. Don't you feel trapped? Like, I don't know how you don't want to just kill yourself. Like, it has to be some heavy crap to carry that burden, to know that you're lying to millions of billions of people on the earth about where they live. Like, I couldn't do it. Like, they are like the lowest of the low. I have no respect for anybody that's a part of those programs, because you have set yourself out to be someone who should decide for all people what's best for them, what they need to know about where they live. And that is just wrong. That's anti-humanism at its worst. Like, who made you the judgment callers for all of us. No, you don't get to decide. You've taken up too much time. You've taken so much away from so many people. We shouldn't even be having a discussion like this if you guys were on your game, if you were doing what you were supposed to do. We wouldn't be having this discussion. So everything about that system tells you it's a complete failure. Either they failed to educate us enough to know that the earth was round, or they failed in scientific pursuit, or they failed at making great CGI that would fool the eye. You failed. You failed. Your time is up. Your time is up. Like, you have got to feel like just the worst thing on the planet. Like, you should just go find an ocean, go as far down in that ocean as you possibly can go, because that's how far you're going to get buried one day. Like, let it go. Let us be free. We do not want to be slaves. Everybody's a wage slave now. Everybody's stuck. And a lot of people don't even know it. So everybody in the Matrix is like fighting against us. They're all still awake. I mean, still asleep, and we're awake. So it makes for a difficult situation when trying to spread the message, because either one, they're not taking you seriously, or number two, they are so asleep that they don't see what's happening because they haven't been touched yet. And I don't know what it's going to take, but I'm going to keep trying every single day, because there's no way that I'm going to look at anyone and have them say to me, well, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you reach out? Why did you allow me to continue to be asleep? There's no way I'm going to go through that. Like, I can't, there's too much at stake with what Trump's done. So what I want to do is show you guys an article that I saw about Antarctica, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Let me pull that up for you guys real quick. I just realized I wasn't even recording my stream. That's cute. The throngs of being new. Yeah, so let's see here. I came across several articles that we're going to be looking at. So here's the first article. It says a huge part of Antarctica is melting, and scientists say that's bad news. And they say if it melts all the way while we're still living, it's going to create 2 feet of new water on the earth. How many of you guys seen this article? It was on CNN, and it has a video to it, so you can listen to it and everything. I think it's half truth, but I think it's more so fear mongering, fear to keep us thinking that this is actually happening. And I can't say that it's not happening because I'm not there, but I think that they've done something. Maybe what they've done has been so detrimental that they want us to know what's coming. I can't think of any other reason that they would continue to make articles about these ice sheets melting and continuing to melt. And there's one that's even newer than that, that says that there's a chunk about the size of Delaware or Manhattan that's about to break off and make its way towards us. And being that we don't know anything about what Antarctica is really like, we just know that there is a gigantic wall of ice, you know, hundreds of feet tall. I'm going to be keeping up with these type of articles because we don't know what the shape of our world actually is. And Antarctica itself is like a big mystery. And one of the things that strikes me about these kind of articles is the fact that um, it could be happening. Something could be happening there that we don't know about. Um, Something could be going on that would make it almost unlivable for us on the earth. So that's one of the reasons why I want to keep up with what's happening in Antarctica, because whatever they're doing there, they feel the need to keep letting us know about what's happening there. The fact that it could be flooding, or that it could potentially cause harm to us. Being that we don't know the true shape of the flat plane, it's something that we want to keep looking at when we see these type of articles, because it's going to tell us a host of information that we want to know. I know that they lie all the time, but there is some truth to the things that they do say that we can figure out kind of for ourselves. And it is a mystery. It is one of those things that we need to pay close attention to, because if you think about the model, let me pull that picture up for you guys. No two flat earthers have the same ideal of what the flat plane looks like. We all feel that we all know that the earth is flat. We just don't agree as to what the shape is, as far as if it's infinite or if it's stops at a certain point and we can't go any further by a natural barrier, or if it continues on and there isn't a dome, there's actually open space up there, like some have said there is, or if there's more land out there. We don't know that is, but we all agree that it's flat. But they could be telling us that there is something definitely happening there that whoa, my whole thing just collapsed. Let me see if I can get it back up. Wow. I'm not sure what happened with that, but I'm going to get this back moving as soon as I possibly can. I'm not sure what happened. This always happens, it seems to me, when I try to open Google Hangouts. Every single time I start a new conversation, um, this will happen. It'll shut down my entire stream. Infinity times infinity, infinity times infinity. We are the love all time in the universe. Let there be love, let there be light. Let me be one. Hey guys, it looks like I'm back up. Seems like every time I open the Google Hangouts, it crashes my computer for whatever reason. I don't know. Okay. Sorry about that. Not sure what caused it to do that, but it is lagging. So if it gets too bad, I may have to restart or something. I opened my Google and my Google Hangouts, and it just crashed the whole thing. Somebody called, and there was like 11 people in there, and that's an impossibility, really and truly. So I'm not sure what happened with that. But it seems like we're back up and running, so we'll continue on. So I'm going to post the link because I think New York wanted to come on and talk a little bit, so we'll do that here shortly. Yeah, so we were talking about that sheet of ice that supposedly is breaking off of Antarctica. And what that could possibly mean for us. Since we don't know the shape of our Earth and we don't know, what it actually looks like. I know that it's said to take 3 years to circumnavigate the Earth. And that is quite a big jump. Hey, what's up, New York? How are you?
What's good, Sister Sassy? How you doing, sweetie?
I'm straight. I opened my Hangouts earlier when you asked about open panel, and it just crashed my entire browser screen. I never had that.
Yeah, we heard you singing. You were good. You were doing your thing.
You heard me singing? Oh my God. I thought it had stopped recording and everything.
Yeah, the Google probably crashed, but you were still streaming, girl.
Oh my God. I'll have to mute my mic next time. Yeah, I do sing. I can sing a little something. I had planned to offer.
Maybe at the end of the show you could do a little something for the fans.
Yeah, I had planned to offer Brother Sanchez to lay down a couple tracks for him and stuff. So maybe I'll do something, a little something with them one of these days. Yeah, it's one of I learned to sing.
I really want to touch. We were talking about the ice and all that.
Yeah, go ahead.
All that subliminal messages. If you want to keep going. With
that. Yeah.
All right. So remember, this is you know how I get down. My mind is wide open, so I'm thinking ahead of the game. I've been in conspiracy theories for a while, so I know a lot was going on with the FEMA camps, with those coffins, plastic coffins. You can fit 4 bodies inside. They've been deployed all over the country, including Puerto Rico.
Wow.
People don't know when the reporter in Puerto Rico went out there and started reporting about these coffins, plastic big coffin. You can fit so many people, and they were wondering here and why they're deploying it to our to our country. So I saw that long time ago. I'm talking about 4 or 5 years ago. And I've been hearing these ice melt conspiracies or whatever. The ice has always been there. It's always going to be there. And it's going to melt like it always does. And it's going to freeze again. 2,000 years cold, 2,000 years warm. It's just always going to be like that. But I think the massive tunnel building that we've been doing for the last 40 years all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people keep hearing them. A lot of people keep reporting these loud noises in their neighborhood. They don't know where it comes from. Those are the drills. And they make a noise when they hit bedrock. But sometimes they try to avoid that so people don't hear them. They're building a whole underground system. That's the question. I think it's going to be for the wealthy, the people who don't want to stay, the 500 million they want to keep. And they're going to flood us. They're going to flood the whole Noah's Ark type of deal.
Oh.
They like using those type of scenarios of the Bible. They love that stuff.
Wow.
That's what it is. But remember, that's my mind going crazy. So, but I think that'll be the easiest way. Drop it. Don't even drop it. Just blow it up in the middle of the ocean, create a wave, and just flood us with the waves. Just like happened a couple of years ago in Thailand. The 200,000 people died. That was a small one. Imagine something big.
That would be crazy. And that one, I forget, they say it's the size of Delaware or Massachusetts, one of those two. I mean, that's quite a bit of ice and quite a bit of water. And I actually think that that has something to do like with the flooding that the ancients talked about. That may be what actually happened, you know, was that a sheet of ice broke off and it flooded everywhere. That would produce a flood, you know, across all areas. They're saying you got an echo. I'll try to isolate your mic, but my computer's kind of acting up, guys. It's not letting me do a whole lot, so I'm trying to fix it slowly as we go, but we're just going to keep moving along, so just bear with me. But yeah, so to me, that's what could cause a flood that massive worldwide. And that could be what they were talking about back then. Because throughout history, every ancient civilization has told of a great flood. And it would just stand to reason that that probably took place and probably could have been the source of that, not just it being, you know, coming from the heavens as they supposedly say. It could have been very well from the ground up and just flooded over time, if anything. I'm more inclined to think that that happened than some crazy story about, you know, far out, you know, that this mysterious thing happened with the heavens. Because let's face it, you know, I do believe in the creator, and I do believe that there is a supreme being, that we come from the source. But I just don't believe all the stories that I've heard them talk about, saying that, you know, he was so angry that he, you know, flooded the earth and killed all of his creation except for Noah's family. To me, that is illogical. You know, it doesn't make any sense to me that that would occur, because it's far-fetching. And we've never seen anything unnatural happen except in the way of human beings and what they have the capability of doing. I've never seen anybody be anything other than a human being. You know, all this sci-fi stuff and, you know, all the Marvel comics and whatnot that show you know, superhuman like being with superhuman like strength and abilities. I mean, that's all something that people made up. That's in people's head. In other words, just entertainment. It doesn't seem, I've never seen any boogie monsters or things under the bed that go bump in the night. It just seems far-reaching to attribute that to the creator. I don't think that he operates in that capacity. I could be wrong, but why would you create your creation just to destroy it over free will, so to speak? And that seems to be what they say that we had was free will, you know, and it just doesn't make any sense to me that they would
human jealousy.
Huh?
I said it's human jealousy. That's what makes us human. Always dreaming.
Yeah. And
you definitely got some lag.
Yeah, and I'm working with it the best that I can. It's for whatever reason, whenever I open
who's your ISP provider? Who's your internet provider?
Time Warner.
Huh?
Spectra, Time Warner.
Time Warner, so it's cable.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
You got your cable modem. You have a cable modem. You have a Wi-Fi to a laptop, or you have hardwired. Is it hardwired?
Wi-Fi.
You might want to go and get yourself an Ethernet cord and go straight to the modem to your laptop, and that should help it better. That should make it better for you.
Okay. I think I have an Ethernet.
You know what an Ethernet is? Ethernet. If you look at your modem in the back of the modem, should have a full ports if it's like a router type. Just plug it in. I mean, it's probably gonna keep you fixed in one position when you gotta keep your laptop.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely gonna make your connection better. Wi-Fi is not as good for streaming. You want to stay away from anything like that when it comes to streaming audio and video. You want to stay hardwired.
Yeah, I always Wi-Fi stream when I do stream. I never even think to, because I just like to be comfortable. You always see me, I'm on my couch, you know, relaxing or whatever. Because I like a home environment, so I just continue to do it that way. And as you said, that's probably
I'm the same way. You see me in my little rocking chair all the time. I love my rocking chair. I cannot live without this rocking chair. If my rocking chair, if I lose it, I don't know what I would do without it, because I have to rock myself to sleep every time, all the time. But this is what I do for a living. Networking, computers and all that. So how to get them working, how to get them, when it comes to the network, stay hardwired. Whenever you're chilling and just listening,
yeah,
then you get the wireless. But if you're doing this, it can be better experience for your audience. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Because I definitely don't want to keep having this issue every time I go to use, you know, every time I stream.
That's what I'm saying. If you're smart, go to Best Buy or Radio Shack or whatever. I don't even know they got Radio Shack. But get yourself a long Ethernet cable. Get yourself like 100-foot cable. So you don't have to move your router or anything. You just plug it in, throw that cable on top, you know, in the living room while you're streaming like that, you know. Good idea.
Yeah. I'm just cycling through what I have because I'm trying to find my screen that has Hangouts up there.
I also want you to touch up. I want to keep talking about Donald Trump and all that, how you were going on earlier.
Yeah.
You were building. I was 100%. Got your back. Everything you said. Exactly. You just. Let me tell you something about his supporters. They're loyal. That's what makes them different. To any wrong. Even if he does wrong. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference between this. This is a new breed of people. I grew up in New York. I grew up watching this man. Always in the news. And there was never positive news about him. It was always negative. Either he's suing or he's being sued. And people who grew up in Texas and grew up in Florida, Virginia, could not see the local news like I saw the local news in New York. And he was always local because he's a New Yorker.
Right.
His family had a lot of money. A lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So he says he got $1 million. His father gave him $1 million, and he took that $1 million and he made it into the empire. Bullshit. He had friends. He had family that helped him. $1 million to start with. But he had a family. He had a whole cartel helping him to be successful. And every time he took the money, he did whatever he wanted to do. He became bankrupt 4 times. What good businessman goes bankrupt? And they can still consider him a good businessman. I hate when people say, well, he's a good businessman. Shut the fuck up. Excuse me. You got me worked out earlier when you were talking about this fool. Because I grew up in New York and I saw this man talking shit, touching women.
Right.
Women suing him. His own wife sued him for raping him. Right. And then he settled for something. Because what he's good at is intimidating people. Mm-hmm. That's what good thing. He's a bully. That's what he is, a bully. And when people, don't say that.
Right.
Don't say that. So why not? When was wrong right and when was right wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened to that? That was a value we had in this country.
To me, it's kind
regardless, the right is right.
Embarrassing because, I mean, it doesn't make any sense that they should have elected him in the first place. Like, why would you make him our president?
Because she was not part of the brotherhood. You have to understand how they operate. She's not part of the brotherhood. That's what Brother Sanchez says. There's no female Freemasons.
But they are
club, or they have some other stuff.
There are.
They do not have that. They're not part of the brotherhood. And that brotherhood, that bond, is very strong to them. They take that very serious. So they chose the man because he was the man. That's it. Because she was down with them. She was rolling with them. She was in the back seat hanging out with the big dog.
But but
she's not part of the big dog.
There is.
You understand what I'm saying?
But there is the fact that she is. She could have been a part of a fraternity, or she could have been an Eastern Star, or she could have been like how they have,
My microphone's muted.
Is it? Can you hear me?
I don't hear nothing.
Can you hear me now? I think I had my mic.
I hear you.
Yeah, I think I had my mic muted. But
sure did. Yeah, you were going on.
Okay, yeah. She still
trying to read your lips.
Oh. She still could have been a part of Skull and Bones, but just a female chapter, because wouldn't it stand to reason at some point that they would have to make her a part of their club, because nobody gets in and nobody gets to those.
Yeah, check this out. This is the way I can explain it. You have the king and you have the queen, right? The king rules, right? The queen always sits next to him, always sits lower than the king, right? She could be next to him, but she can never be the king. That's how they look at it. They're a brotherhood. That means brothers, males. They created their own set. They created this female set, and they're kind of like the same, but they are not. You see? They kind of make them feel part of the group, but no, you will never be part of the group. Just like there's the priest masons, like the black masons. But if you talk to a real mason, they don't consider the black masons ever a part of this set or a chapter. You see what I'm saying? Oh yeah, she is. She is. She's a vampire. She's a vampire. She's a warlock. Mm-hmm. But she's not. She was not part of the Brotherhood. They were not going to allow it. It would have had to have stream measures for her to. Donald Trump would either die for an accident or had a heart attack, and then they would have brought her in. That's it. That's why they pick him, even though he's uncontrollable. See, they think they got him or they don't got him. Is he down with us? Is he not down with us? He's a renegade president. He's doing his own thing, but he has to homage them. He has to bow down to them. If he doesn't, they're going to do the same thing they've done to the other ones before. They either get him out one way or another. I guarantee you, he's either going to quit or something's going to happen.
I don't think they planned for him to actually be in charge. I think he usurped the crown, so to speak. I think that he got in good with the Russians and everybody else and made a way for himself to become president by the numbers. Because if you remember, during that election, he was losing, and then all of a sudden he won Ohio, and nobody wins the presidency unless they win Ohio. But look how much she beat him in the popular vote, like by millions, literally. I think that he did something with the Russians to make sure that he became the president in spite of who they wanted. I think they wanted Hillary to be the president. He just got away with some shady BS.
I think the Russian is a scapegoat. I think they're trying to get into Russia some way, somehow. But I think it has something to do with his psionic Jesuit connections. Because if we all know that he went to Fordham University in the Bronx, Catholic university. That's what Donald Trump got his college forever. And his top nonchalant or psionic Jews. And then you have his daughters married to Fisher, who is part of the whole thing. Very wealthy, very wealthy. Probably more wealthy than the president and his family. His other daughter, who's dating a Jew. Sons who are dating Jews too. So he's surrounded by these people who are controlling our banks, Federal Reserve, our CNN. Believe it or not, they control the whole thing. They just make it believe they're really attacking him. You name it. They have their nails stuck on them. They might not control the whole thing, but I guarantee on top of the pyramid, very well connected, and he is just very good. He's a great TV star. He's so good at it. You and I are talking about him right now, regardless if it's negative or positive.
That's true.
That is how good he is.
I think it is.
Say that one more time.
I think it's sensationalism when it comes to Trump because he's the candidate who never could. I mean, he's the poster boy for everything that this country actually stands for. He's taken the boogeyman out of the closet, so to speak, and he's
the boogeyman.
Yeah, so every dirty little dark thing that America is, he represents, and he's doing exactly what is expected. What did people think when he got in office? That it would be something different? No, definitely not. Does
the people know? I asked 9 times out of 10 that they didn't know about this. They didn't know that his own father, his name is Donald Trump's dad, was arrested for espionage against the United States of America. Now that alone can get anybody before disqualified to be even an American president.
He was a racist. He was a racist as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. We know that. That's obvious. We as Puerto Ricans, we all know how he referred to us. as his least favorite Mexicans. So you see what I'm saying? How stupid this man is. That he can probably considers all Latino race Mexicans.
Yep.
An individual to me. And that is not how New Yorkers are. I want you to understand that. We're not like that. New Yorkers are very smart people. We're not just living. We know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? We live in a freaking jungle. I call it a jungle. All these buildings like that. But I don't know. He was bred and raised in an environment that he can never relate to anybody like us. He can never say, man, so they shut my power off. You know what I'm saying? He don't know what is being late on a cable bill, or he don't know what's being fired, because he's probably never been fired in his life.
Right.
Probably been. We don't know the stuff that ever got out. We don't know the stuff that it got out. Because I can guarantee you, he got a lot of dirt in his closet. Guarantee you that. So this is a man that I guarantee you, women around him, when he's walking, let's say in the White House, and the women are seeing him coming, I guarantee you, they'll either go to the right or to the left. Walking around him. Because I guarantee you, people say it. That it's attention. He screams on the TVs. He gets mad at everybody. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's telling you there's something wrong with the guy. I guarantee you they're going to say that he's snubbed. It's going to get worse.
Yeah.
And those power up, they're going to say, well, you know, we're going to have to remove him, say that he's either mentally unstable. So he has to step down. I can guarantee you that's going to be something like that.
He should have been stepped down.
I mean, I tell you, Sister Sassy, this is, I cannot believe he did what he did. Because I'm in Florida, right? And I work in a company that does what I just told you earlier. So I drive around a lot. And there was nothing but Trump signs everywhere. Trump sign. And when I talked to these customers, I said, what do you know about this man? Because I was already informed before I even got to Florida that I knew this man. I saw him on TV all the time. He was always doing crazy stuff, getting people's attention, whether it's negative or positive. But it was 9 times out of 10 was negative. There was nothing good about this guy. He was always trying to steal money from people. He just settled for $20 million on his college because they could prove that he was up the wazoo with, you know, with the fake degrees.
Yeah.
But that was going on. Do you know that was going on with when he was going for his presidency? And it was also, there were a bunch of women accusing him of rape or some type of groping. And there was what happened to that? Why that never went mainstream? That's what I'm saying. So the news media must have been in it because they didn't report it. Some did, a little bit here, a little bit here. But that should have been top news for weeks. President, ex-girlfriend or ex-this was taking them to court for this, and that. They didn't barely touch that. Why? Because they're all on the cahoots. They all control. They are all part of the system. They are all the owners of these companies are all connected. They are part of this one brotherhood, secrecy, that help each other no matter what. And that's the only reason they're survived so long, because of that brotherhood. Imagine if we all had that brotherhood, or we had something like it. Regardless of what we do, we got each other's backs.
I'm a big proponent for us all sticking together and no one talking negatively about flat earthers, and because that only detracts from the movement. It only takes away from us getting the word out and being supportive. We're better than them, so why would we act like them in the first place? The only reason we should act like them is behind the scenes so that we can get things done. And by that I mean by using their own system against them to bring it down. You know, other than that, no one should be, you know, talking about other flat earthers and making them negative, you know, for little drama. Now I could see if it was somebody who was detrimental to the community, but we haven't come across flat earthers that are like that. So I don't see the point in, you know, keeping up drama from channel to channel, talking about other flat earthers in a negative light. It only detracts from what our goal is, which is to bring this system down. I mean, we can't take another 4 years of a Trump type of person. Hell, we might not even make it through these first 4 years. And I don't even think that he, you know, is going to get reelected. I mean, think about it, though. Look at all this drama he has, and we haven't even made it through the first year. Like, we're only a couple months into this fool's presidency. Not even 6 months, I don't think. And everything has gone to hell. He's taken money from poor people. Everything that he's done has hurt the little guy, you know?
Monopolize the airwaves.
Yeah.
He's controlling. That's one of the weirdest things. Think about that for a minute. Why was so that important that he needed to do it? That's so close to the first beginning of his presidency. To pass whatever he did to monopolize the airway, the airspace. How? Who makes us, the United States, the police of the air? Only this company can fly here, and all these companies can fly here, and this one can fly here, but no, you cannot fly over here. You see what I'm saying? That's kind of weird now after the flat earth and everything's popping up, comes up. Why? Why would you even waste your time with that? I thought flying companies were doing pretty good with the routes already. But got you to where you needed to go. That was the point.
He's not
so I don't understand
their game. He's not doing what they do. He's bucking the system at every chance that he gets. Like, excuse me, he's like the one thing that they did not plan for at all, obviously, because he's so unpredictable and he is the president. So there's a level of respect there that they have for the things that he wants to do, unless he wants to blow us all to hell. You know, they just let him do whatever. You know?
Hang on.
It's true though. Like, they gonna blow us up. Yeah, that's like the only thing that they haven't let or won't let this fool do is blow us all to hell. Like, that's like, I mean, if he could, and without a thought, he probably would. Like, oh, you guys aren't doing what I say. You're not paying me any attention. Okay, I'm gonna beep, and then we're all dead. You know, just imagine. Like,
I know what you're saying. He's a baby, needs attention.
Control himself, like. You know, so whatever they're doing, I mean, they're obviously not going to assassinate him because supposedly we have the most secure president in the entire world.
I would not want that even. No, that would not be good for them.
That would not be good at all. To keep this fool safe, like, and his family.
You know how much it's costing us, American taxpayers, per day, just on his children?
Isn't it $1 million? A piece?
No, $24 million
$24 million could feed a lot of people.
Just to take care of kids and his son to go to school and his other kids to do business.
That's crazy.
Because that's what they're doing. They're going around to their... But he needs to have Secret Service right there. I'm sorry, but I believe they have money to... Security department. Mm-hmm. So you see what I'm saying? This is something wrong here. There's no respect anymore. There's no respect. There's people right now, they really say that he's not doing anything wrong. They'll curse you. They'll kick you out of your house. Say, damn it, get out of my house.
Yeah.
Disrespect them. I'm like, look, there's people out there really blind.
Blind ain't the word. Blind is like they are the product of the American system, literally.
They dumb them down so much they don't even think for themselves. They just look at CNN and Fox.
Yep.
Oh, well, this guy said this. Okay. And they just, I tell you, the whole thing about fake news. believable, they're not gonna even consider anything real anymore. It's gonna be like that. You ever go to the newspaper? I mean, to the cash register when you pay your groceries, and they always got these articles on, like $1.02 newspapers. That's how real news is gonna look like. Right now, do you know right now that North Korea is on standby for another nuclear test?
Wow.
And they broadcasting that all over. That's another scare tactic. Okay? There's no reason for that guy to ever attack anybody. It doesn't benefit him at all. The whole thing is already messed up as it is. Or that's what they want us to believe. Just like they say Russia is a communist country and it's really bad. Well, a lot of Americans are moving over there because it's really different. So they want us to believe that everything's so bad elsewhere, that we should be lucky to live here. And I love being here. Don't get me wrong. I love different people. And
I do too, but at the same time, it's like, okay, other countries provide health care for their citizens. Other countries, their citizens are well educated and don't spend as much time as American citizens do in educational systems, and they have better quality of
let me tell you something. I know some people would agree with me 100% on this, but we need to look at Japan and how they run their stuff. Japan kids are considered probably the most smartest people. Heart, literally. They're the citizens. Let's say your boyfriend or husband works as a repairman in the street, and they see a pothole. They don't wait. They don't submit. They fix the pothole. The people clean everything. The toilets, public toilets in the public are more cleaner than any public toilet you ever seen in this country.
That's true.
The way they grow their greens, vegetables, or free from GMOs and organics, and vertical. That's what I wanted to touch about. That's what I know. Vertical gardens that you can have inside your house with a couple of. Well, vertical gardening is really, really cool. You can have it inside your house if you have a nice little LED light. And you can literally get some that are wall mounts or create your own if you're really creative. And I think you're probably the type of person can be very creative. And you can actually get them in these plastic with these. You can mount them in your wall and grow your own cilantro, grow your own vegetables literally right there in your home, because you know what's in the soil, you know they're not being spread by chemtrails. Because that's one thing you cannot avoid, even if you're an organic farmer, is chemtrails, unless you have a mat that you can put around or a greenhouse. So that's one of the things I like to talk about, is these chemtrails and how to get around them, and how to, because there's a will, there's a way, and I say it like that. So if you have a space in your house that you can literally transform to a little greenhouse, like I do, I have like a porch in the back that I've transformed it to a greenhouse. And I just got a nice little LED light, and I grow my vegetables.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking to do. That's what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow, is the little garden that I started. And well, I started my seedlings. I haven't actually laid the garden itself out yet, but that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow.
Yeah. My advice to you is learn the zone where you live first. Important thing that any a beginning garden needs to do. Learn the zone you live. I believe because you live in Texas, you might live in zone 10, 9, or 8. One of those. So you have to look. So what you do is you go online and you get in touch with the agriculture department of your local district online, and they'll tell you what vegetables grow good at what time which period of the month, because that's where you have to look. In the summer, it's going to be really hard to grow any leaf greasing vegetable or greenhouse. But you could grow things that are, for example, tomatoes, watermelons, things like that. You could go outside because they need a lot of sun. You see what I'm saying? Big things need a lot of sun. Small things need a little bit of sun.